Hey, sorry. I got
Keep
excited.
it. Keep
I got
it.
excited.
Go.
How do you understand? No, that's stupid. That's stupid. Hi guys, talking about the CrossFit curve, talking about our advanced athletes, and I know it's amazing. Talking about advanced athletes, we need three of us all wearing the same shirts in which to communicate to you the awesomeness that is the advanced CrossFit athlete. Now, in order to become the advanced CrossFit athlete, this is not an overnight thing. This takes really years on years of being athletic in every different domain that you can possibly think of. Growing up and then participating in CrossFit and getting really proficient at everything. And really that's the main thing with being an advanced athlete. You can do it all. There really aren't any movements that you can't do, that you're limited by. You are that good. You can do it all. The hard thing is, because you can do it all, it doesn't mean that you should do it all. And so it's really hard to get stronger and gain more capacity at the same time. And a lot of times those things will really set each other off, and you won't see any gain. You can't do a Russian squat cycle and then try to marathon train at the same time. You won't get the results that you're looking for.
Okay, I thought you were going to talk more about that.
I'm going to talk more about work capacity, but not really.
All right, so the second part is periodization. So as Adam was saying, you can't do it all at once, all at the same time. So you need to periodize your training. So if you're, since we're with CrossFit, we'll talk about a CrossFit athlete. So the games just finish up, and let's say you didn't make the regionals this year, but you want to make regionals 2016. Darn.
Coming at me.
Yep. So what are you going to do right when the games end? That's your time to get strong. You have a whole year, so spend a couple months, focus on strength. Well, does that mean you do strength and you do filthy 50? No. You want to solely focus on strength, because if you do strength and, like Adam's saying, try to do strength and marathon train and row 50,000 meters a day, you're not going to get anywhere. Strength gains will be lost. So periodize. Strength first. After the strength, you could add in some Olympic lifting. So you've built the subsequent strength to be able to improve your Olympic lifting, really work on technique, really focus in. Obviously, there's a lot of Olympic lifting in CrossFit, and just the overall fitness gains you can get from that are awesome. So,
and now you're good at Olympic lifting because you're crazy strong. Because you're really focused on it. And Lauren's not saying you don't ever do any bit of conditioning ever. You just don't beat yourself over the face with 30-minute Metcons. You do short, you do intense. You do really what CrossFit was intended to do. Quick and awesome.
So we have the strength now, we have the technique of Olympic lifts. What else are we missing? We're missing some gymnastics. So all this while, like he's saying, you're still working on your metabolic conditioning in smart areas a little bit. You're still focusing on strength. Strength's always a component. You always need to squat, deadlift, push, press, all those those four things. So we add in gymnastics. Really focus on that. It's going to be in there. Your pistols, your handstand work, your ring work, your core stability, your midline stability, just body awareness. Really take some time to focus in on that. When that's all said and done, we're coming up probably to, next spring around that time. Now is the time to work on your work capacity. So you have your strength, you're crazy strong, you're good at you're technical with your Olympic lifts, you're proficient at them, above proficient at them. You've started to get really good at gymnastics, and those are on point. So now you add in the metabolic conditioning and kind of up your work capacity and kind of add it all together a little bit.
So that brings us to our last point. So like Lauren said, there's a lot that we have to work on to be good at CrossFit, but just because there's a lot to work on doesn't necessarily mean that more is better. More is not better, better is better. A lot of times people get caught up in the fact that there's so much to do, so much to get better at, so much to continue working on, that they try to do it all every day. And you can't do that, because you will see less and less gains, less and less progress, and you won't give your body adequate time to recover and build that strength necessary to get better. So we want to make sure that in addition to periodization, we're also making sure that our volume is appropriate to wherever we're at into our season.
Once you get really good, guys, it's really hard to improve unless you really focus on whatever it may be. So if you want to get strong, you really need to get on a strength program. If you want to get better at Olympic lifting, you need to look up Catalyst Athletics and really hammer a 12-week cycle.
What he says with that, if whatever your goal is, come to us and we will help you find the right program, or we'll build the right program for you.
And I think you see a lot of this in distance running. People take up distance running, they're like, yeah, they distance run. And they eventually peak out at whatever their strength and fitness level kind of is. And unless they really make, some type of change in the way of strength in some capacity, whether it be Olympic lifting or powerlifting or CrossFit or whatever it may be, they kind of just plateau out. And I think it's the same thing with our advanced athlete here. If you don't really really be cognizant of what you're doing and why you're doing it and put some structure behind it, you're going to plateau out. And that's no fun for anybody.
Yeah, I mean, just because Rich Froning does X, Y, and Z doesn't mean you need to do X, Y, and Z. You need to have your own goals, own plan, and really be sure that you know yourself as an athlete, what you need, what your weak points are, and build a program that's going to help you reach your goals and not just do what others do because it works for them. It may not work for you.
Having a plan and having a program is huge. Just getting, yourself beat up, your body beat up every day isn't going to get you to your end goal. So let's find your end goals and find the right program for you.
Love the shirts.
We hope you enjoyed our video series. This was part 3 of 3. Go get strong.